Good evening, everyone, and welcome into episode number 23 of the Motorsports Almanac podcast. Joined tonight first by Mr. Zach Howell with the Indiana Pulling League. Zach, what's going on, bud?
Oh, same shit, different day.
Feel that. How's the season going so far for you guys with IPL and just y'all's tractor too?
Well, we haven't had the pan off or the head off yet this year, so that's a plus compared to previous years. So I would call it a win so far.
Yeah. You guys seen a lot of rainouts for pulls yet?
We lost our first one Sunday, and it was not a heartbreak to lose. So one of them deals.
One of those places.
Yep.
Should have had two though.
Yeah. So
I got you.
Flopped first night.
Yeah, we lost our first one Sunday, but no, we've run every one of them since, and the weather looks good this weekend, pretty well. So
yeah, our hometown fair is this weekend too, the 20th and 29th, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Hopkinsville, Kentucky, out there at our fairgrounds. I know a couple of out-of-towners, quote unquote, are coming down from Wisconsin, so excited to see that. But you guys have got your own shootout coming up here pretty soon. Next week, isn't it?
The 12, 13, 14th of July. So that kind of that week in there, those 2 weeks kind of start what we call Hell Week for IPL. It starts with the night before Greentown with a pole the light limits don't run out, but then after that week it really takes off and just runs. So yeah, that's a deal that I've been wanting to do for a while. Is get the light limited pro guys together for a fairly decent sized purse. Couldn't make it work till this year. The logistics kind of worked out where the polls are 45 minutes between the three of them. Probably if you drive them all three, you can beat all of them in 45 minutes at Greentown.
All three counties touch. So
Yep. All three counties touch. All three got good dirt, good tracks. We're hoping to have a heck of a turnout. I've contacted quite a few people and have got good response we're lucky that those 3 days, the national stuff is pretty well off that weekend, except for the Region 2 East has Wilmington, Ohio on the 13th. But other than that, the national stuff's pretty well off that week. So I feel like we're going to have a pretty good turnout.
Yeah, absolutely. So it looks like you're running 4 different classes together. The light pros weigh 9,000, and so are the 4-1s, but that's kind of the IPL standard, right? That's where we get the light limited pro class out of at Shipshewana in January.
Right. So the IPL, I asked Richard today, 2012 was the first year that the light limiteds ran with IPL at 9,000. And then about 5 years ago, we let the super farms in at weight 9,500 if they want, because we had some Michigan super farms that ran with us 1 or 2 years about all summer long. And then I've got some friends out east that want to come out to this thing, and we decided to let the mod turbo guys weigh 9,300 with an A pump if they come out to run with us. So
how'd you guys come to 93? Because what they weigh up there usually? Is it 85?
They weigh 8,500, and so we kind of talked to Clint Tucker just a little bit about it and what he does at Shipshewana and whatnot, and talked to some guys out east, and we kind of come up with 9,300. We could probably give them a couple 100 pounds more, but a lot of them guys can't put 9,500 on.
Right.
They're going to be about full at 9,300. A lot of them guys will.
Yeah. That's awesome. It says here, IPL rules apply. No component chassis allowed in this. No Mitas tires.
Mm-hmm.
A 48 lug max. You guys could be checking all that every hook, I'd assume.
So the reason that this year at the banquet with IPL, we adopted the NTPA light pro stock rules, which state no components, no Mitas, 48 lug maximum on the tires, and NTPA locked them in for 3 years. So we have stuck to our guns this year and stayed with those rules. So that's why we decided to do it. You know, what will you do next year? I don't know. We didn't lock it in for 3 years. We just did it for this year. I think the component thing will probably stay out next year for sure, but we might revisit the tire deal. So.
Okay. Yeah, because it seems like meat tosses are popping up everywhere for that class that isn't NTPA. I mean, I know I saw a lot of them whenever I was out in Missouri.
I don't know. I don't know who other than Smokey, which he's coming on a little bit, has a set of meat tosses on a light pro. I know there's some 52 lug hole shots on some light pros, and quite a few sets of Parkses on light pros now. But I don't know who else has a set of meat tosses on light pros other than Smokey.
I thought I saw a couple of them. I may not have. But yeah, first is getting 2,500 over the 3 events. Second's getting 15, third's getting 1,000. That's really it's what we need.
So,
are you
guys going to run in golf style rules like low score?
It'll be the biggest distance over 3 days.
Okay.
All right. So whoever goes the longest for 3 days.
Some of these big events now are winner take all. And I kind of decided I wanted to give a little bit across a few places. IPL pays very well, pays the same as region. 2, we pay 10 spots. I think Richard will probably text me if I'm wrong here in a second, but we pay 10 spots, very good payout. So we'll have the IPL purse plus that on top of it is where we kind of come up with the 18,000. So,
okay. And so you have a sponsor up here. Is it Z Diesel?
ZZ Diesel. Jacob Zody's a kid that I've kind of grown up with. Lives north of me about 6 miles as the crow flies. Has a very, very well thought of diesel business. They do everything from complete builds of trucks. They had a truck at SEMA last year to just basic oil changes, reman motors, you name it. They do it all up there. Has an unbelievable shop. If anybody looks it up on the internet, his new shop is all of us that just die to have it. Done very, very well. He's a Purdue grad that was a diesel mechanic or diesel over there. And yeah, very, very good business. And he's getting more and more involved with the sport of pole, and he's got his wrap on one of Lowry's sleds now. So,
cool.
He knows his demographic.
Yeah. So Lowry sled's going to be the sled for all 3 of them?
No, we'll have Singer at Greentown and Tipton. And then Lowry Chase will be at Frankfurt with the ZZ sled. So,
all right. How appropriate. See, Evolution Outdoor, that's yours right there, isn't it?
That is mine. Yes. That is our bad boy Toro dealership.
Yeah, that's awesome. I called you the other day asking you a couple of questions about a Toro. We had one come into the store too. We don't see many of them down here, dealer wise, anymore.
Toro's pretty big up here, and they're real big down the south.
Yeah. So Zach, kind of talking to us about a little bit more about IPL. You know, you and I were on the phone the other night talking about it, and like Indiana Pulling League's really been around for a long time, but during COVID years, really when you guys made your mark about being here to stay, because I mean the crossover between competitors from all over the country that we saw from the pulls that you guys had some all-star hooks that year.
So yeah, 108, 120 hooks a night, pulling till 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, us track guys, it wasn't as fun for us track guys as it was for some other people. But Indiana Pulling League started out as Indiana Super Farm, if I believe.
Indiana Hot Farm
Pullers. And then which Matt was involved back then before I was. Then it went to Indiana Super Farm Pullers. And then I'd have to ask Richard. He's in Nashville, Tennessee playing baseball. So that's why he's
not too far from me at all.
Yeah, he's down there with his boy playing baseball all weekend. So we get to run these 3 events this weekend without him. So, and then it went to Indiana Pulling League. We have 9 classes. Let me see here.
Hot Farm. We got probably one of your biggest.
Yep. So we have 10 mile an hour farm stock, 15 mile an hour farm stock, single engine modifieds, 2.6 diesel, 3.0 diesel, Altered Farm, Hot Farm, Light Limited Pro. We have a light super stock combo class, which lets the light limiteds run with like our single engine mods class, and we've kind of mixed it up. It works pretty well. Then we have we run side by side with Pro Stock with ITPA, with the Pro Stock, the bar tire little motor trucks. They run with us a lot, and then we are going to have 2 events this year that are going to have 5.0 pros and blown 2-wheelers.
Okay.
So we'll be we can do a little bit of everything. IPL, I said I'd have to ask Richard what year it started. We've been running it for 5-6 years, pretty hardcore. Brad Alford's the title sponsor, so we decided we just gonna kind of leave the tractor on the IPL, and we're close to home, with the exception of Tampico, Columbus, and Valparaiso. An hour and a half from the house, I can beat every hook.
It ain't nothing where it used to be.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
So, and but yeah, COVID years were fun. We really put ourselves on the map. The COVID years. I know Greentown, Tipton. What else did we do that year? We done 4 or 5. Flora went ahead and had theirs that year. But yeah, we had anywhere from 90 to 120 hooks a night.
Wow.
During that deal. So
got kicked out of a few towns because we were up there too late, and the old folks were upset.
Yeah, we had a few curfews come at us, but you deal with it and you go on. So
yeah. That's awesome. Well, this is going to be a great event for you guys. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of tractors. I'm sure we'll see a lot of light pros, a lot of 4.1s come at you.
We've made contact with quite a few and shown a lot of interest. I had some 4.1s from Wisconsin contact me. I've had a couple light pros from out west contact me. We'll get some Region 2 light pros. I'd be happy to have 15 to 18 tractors at all shows, and I think we'll do it pretty easy. We'll have a few at Greentown, that'll leave to go to Wilmington on Saturday. But yeah, we'll have some East Coast guys. I made contact with some of them guys out there, and so yeah, we're hoping it works out. It ought to be a cool deal if everybody shows up and the weather cooperates.
Yeah, is there any names that you can give away to confirm for sure that they're coming, or are they coming down the pipeline?
I think the Howells might be there. I'm not sure.
I know Mike Palmer's going to be there with at least on Friday night at Greentown with 2 of his, hopefully 1, hopefully 2. I don't want to put anybody's name out there until we get through this weekend at least, because I know there's a lot of polls this weekend, and we all know how this sport works, that you can plan all you want, but one trip down the track can ruin the rest of your summer, So,
right. You told me too before that on leading up to the event that you got the ZZ Diesel guys are going to be putting out some of the
Jacob, he does a complete sponsorship of his what he calls hometown poll, which is tomorrow night and Friday night. Once he gets through that Friday night, they're going to be putting out some content and stuff about it. Him and I got to kind of work out the details probably tomorrow night when I see him up there at Peru. But
going to be on IPL's page or on the ZZ Diesel page?
It'll be on both.
Okay.
Darren, it's a Weimer hat in case you're asking. Sorry about that.
He wouldn't even comment about it.
He just IPL, let's see where we go here. We go Peru tomorrow and Friday, Winnemac, Indiana Saturday, LaGrange, Indiana on the 6th, Georgetown, Illinois on the 10th. And then we got 2 nights at Greentown, Tipton, Frankfurt, Wabash, and then it kind of takes off from there. We got Charles, which one are you coming to see us at?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask. Hang on a sec. It's later in the season.
Is it Rochester there on the 7th? September?
He's now announcing.
That sounds right. Yes.
So yeah, but And then, Indiana Pulling League Facebook, you guys can check out the full schedule. We had 19 hooks for us this year with IPL. I think there was 28 total IPL events, or 30. So,
yeah, you guys have grown so big in your 95 hot farm class in particular that you guys have split that off into 2 different points races into 2 different regions by themselves, haven't you?
no, we haven't. NTPA did.
Okay.
We haven't yet. It's been talked about, but I think right now we'll stay with where we're at.
Okay. I thought I saw something like with the north standings or the south standings.
Well, there's a north and south point, or I must call it. You probably call it shootout.
Okay.
But no, points are the points all the way across.
Okay. That's awesome. Super excited to see that.
The deal that Charles is coming to there in September. We're doing a championship weekend, September 7th. In Rochester, Indiana, all of our classes will run that day. We're gonna have 2 sessions, one at 1 and one at 7, and then we're gonna have a pull off. Give me a sec here. We're gonna have a liquid tube pull off, and the top 3 in light limited pro, hot farm, and 3O are gonna come back at the end of the night for an end of the year points deal.
Charles, sounds like you're gonna have some fun there.
Oh yeah, it should be a blast, and everything that I have heard about the event and how they're trying to grow it back. Excited to be a part of that, and hopefully it works and it sticks.
Yeah, I hope it does too. We haven't been to Rochester for a while as far as IPL, and one of our main tech officials is kind of heading this deal up, and Matt and I are helping with the track, and I hope we get a place that we can have this and have it year after year, and it stays there. So
yeah, that would be great. So, Mr. Matt, let's talk to you for a minute while we've still got a couple more minutes. How long have you been involved with Indiana Pulling League?
Well, so me and another buddy of mine started tractor pulling when we were, I don't know, I think I was 13, he was 15. I was just trying to think of that. I don't know if Indiana is the originator of the hot farm class. I don't know where that came from, that 5'10". I'm not too sure it wasn't, if Indiana Hot Farm Pullers wasn't the originator of that. But so I'd have been around 2000 when I got into tractor pulling, and then me and Zach became buddies shortly thereafter, and from the days of building his tractor to now we build tracks on the side. We got a little side hustle we call Fast Track Promotions. We'll come in and build tracks for some of these brush pulls and stuff that don't quite have the know-how or the capabilities, and we've been pretty lucrative at that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you and Zach worked together on this shootout deal, didn't you?
Yeah, that's something we've talked about for a couple of years now. But getting the 3 pulls lined out back to back nights, and it works out perfect. I mean, they're Tipton being in the middle, you're 20 minutes either way from the other 2 pulls. So,
yeah.
And anybody that's ever been to Tipton knows that can be some of the best dirt in the country to pull on if it's built right. The guys doing it now are doing a phenomenal job down there. It's Tipton's a cool place. It's a pulling track only facility. They do some dirt drags on it, but it's a strictly pulling track only facility, and they pack that place.
Yeah, it's not like they're doing demo derbies or anything like that
Nope.
on it.
Nope.
You can put a garden tractor pull on at Tipton, and you'll have 5,000 people there. It's nuts, absolutely nuts.
Wow.
It's one of the original meccas of tractor pulling around here. It used to be an NTPA region hook, and there used to be a lot of.
I mean, we've had Esden down that track before. The Wilhites have been down that track before. Brandon and Larry Phillips have been down that track before. I mean, there's a lot of big names that have been down the track at Tipton. Scott Phillips in the 4-wheel drive, he's been down that track before. There's been a lot of big names down that track before, and it's a nice facility. They do a good job, and like Matt said, you could have a garden tractor pulled there and put 5,000 people in the stands.
Yep. So where did this idea come from for you guys to put together this shootout as a whole?
The shootout.
Yeah.
Sprint cars.
We've got a dirt track right here, which Charles might know, Kokomo Speedway. They call it the baddest bull ring in Indiana, and they have a deal every fall called the Kokomo Smackdown, and it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. It's 3 nights of USAC non-wing sprints, and the purse gets
The
bigger
best
every night.
sprint cars don't have wings. I'm just putting that out there.
I will agree. But the purse gets bigger every night. And last year, Matt and I went that way. Like, we need to do this in the pulling world. And that's honestly where it came from, and then with us, with the Light Pro and my contacts, Light Pro class, and knowing that we're finding out that if you get on good tracks, the 4-1s and the Light Pros are pretty even. If you get on a good track and everybody sets them up right, they're really pretty close at 9,000 pounds. So why not use our IPL rules and go play?
Yeah.
I, for one, think this is a great idea. I think this is something that polling's been missing for a long time, and doing something where you can have a common set of rules that people can go play against other people they haven't done before.
Right.
I think it gives another incentive to go somewhere they haven't been, against people they haven't pulled against, and make friends they haven't ever met before, say, and compete on tracks they've never been on before, and learn their setup even more.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you're exactly right about the COVID year. Man, we saw tractors that 2 states away coming to Indiana to play with us.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty cool seeing how you shake up against everybody else in the world just because that was the only place to play.
You got to do it one time a year indoors, so why not do it one time a year outdoors,
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of something that's become more of an occurrence. And Zach, you and I talked about this the other night, was how, and we've talked about it here too on the show, is like how running a full points tour is kind of going away.
Charles and I talked about that the other night on his show.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you're going to have the guys that are going to do it, and that's great. But I think as the sport evolves, these guys are like myself, and we're going to go where we want to go. And if there's a big event we want to go to, we're going to go to it. Now I will say we're gonna try to run the IPL Points Series this year. It's close to home. We can do it if it stays in one piece, but I think the days of the hey, I can't go anywhere but here is dwindling very far.
It is.
And you see that with what Connie did in Southern Indiana the last couple of years with the Pro Stock Shootout, at Wagler's or whatever. You see it with the Mack trailer guy. I think it's the way the sport's moving.
It is. And so let me ask you this. The numbers for the pros last year, in particular at Wagler's, weren't great. Do you attribute that to being just the time of the year that they had it?
I think harvest was late in this area last year in a lot of areas, and I think it didn't work because that is one thing that guys are not going to shut the combines and the planners off to do this.
No.
I mean, it's just, and they shouldn't, unless they've got a big enough operation, you can put somebody in it and do it. But I think that was a lot of it that hurt Wagler's last year was the time of year.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you and I have talked about you guys coming down my way in October for Battle of Bluegrass's end of the year pull there in Elizabethtown too. And
I'd like to do that. We've pulled with Battle of Bluegrass. Them guys do a phenomenal job down there. We went to Shelbyville, Indiana last year and had a blast. I mean, they do a good job. It's kind of like, our IPL group. Everybody gets along. We don't argue. We don't fight. It just, everybody's out to help each other. And you don't have the politics you do in some other organizations.
I will 100% agree with that.
Yeah, Tampico.
I'll agree with that.
All of us got together in Tampico, come over. My mom made some food. My wife, they made food. And everybody had a good time. We hung out, drank beer together. And that's just what's really cool about our organization is everybody gets along.
Yeah, there's a vibe at an IPL show that, like, it's what I used to feel at shows around here 10, 12 years ago. Yeah, it's just a real comfortable place to go.
And I'm not picking on the other organizations or people. I mean, Fort Recovery, Ohio, some of the best times I've ever had tractor pulling with all that group over there. And, it's been, fun. But you go with the guys with IPL and you pretty much know who's going to be there. If outsiders come in, you welcome them, and everybody has a great time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's another one going on this weekend. It nearly slipped my mind too, but it was this one going up in New Centerville, the 5,000 added bonus to the weekend winner for the Duel of the Fuels. That'll be really cool to see. I already know of one pro that's heading that direction.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. I mean, 5,000's it's a lot.
I'm glad to see they're finally getting it down the track and making strides on it.
Yeah. I'll be curious to see how many show up for that. I really will, especially being the time of year it is. I know both organizations are off.
Right. And they're off for a while here.
Yeah.
I think the only hard part is for the NTPA guys, you just went 4 solid weeks in a row.
Yeah.
18 to 20 hours apart. I think that's the only thing that I think could hurt that. So
yeah. I don't know. It's something interesting.
But like I said before, it's like this is something that I think we've been missing for a long time, and it needs to happen. So, and it gives the pullers an incentive to go. I mean, a bonus, hell yeah, let's go do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing I'll tell you about IPL guys, a non-member hook fee's $40. A member hook fee's $20. You're not paying You're not paying $160 to hook one time with us. It's
it's very reasonable.
And a testament to you guys on what you've been able to do with your sponsorship and fundraising to be able to extend that.
Yeah, like I said, I hit ZZ Diesel up about it. He's like, "Yeah, I'm all in." He's like, "It sounds like a great deal." Jake's looking to grow his business a little bit more than what he already has, and he knows the tractor pulling world's his demographic. He's got a website. They ship all over the country. He knows what his demographic is, and that's the biggest thing about it. And I think a lot of these companies today, are missing that pulling is their demographic. Matt works for Nutrien. He's going to give about $8,000 in this deal. You just don't know it yet. But these seed companies, these equipment companies, which I know Case IH is on board with NTPA, that's great, and Outlaw is awesome, but they're missing the demographic that they should be following for what we do.
Yeah, I mean, I see it all over the place. NHRA's got a tractor deal now, and I saw a post today. There's the high limit sprint cars are racing tonight. First word in the post is a tag to Kubota.
Mm-hmm. Kubota finally done something right. It's a miracle.
Yep.
All these years of fighting Kubota to do something right and having to beg, plead, borrow, and steal to get them to give us anything for a pull, they finally done something right when it comes to motorsports.
Yeah. Indeed. I think Shane hopped off. He's probably trying to get together with the Smiths and figure out what's going on with them.
Yeah, give me just a second. I'm working on it.
Yeah, you're good.
We need like a behind the scenes person for that. We're our own behind the scenes.
Yeah. Well,
if you need something worked on, Smiths are the guys. Those guys work harder than anybody in tractor pulling.
That is no joke, man. What I saw them do at SHIP, wow.
Yeah, that's actually what I was wanting to talk about before they actually came on, was the engine swap. Because Zach, you were in the middle of it.
A little bit.
You're right there in the middle of the video, bud. You're like,
that happened, and they asked if I had tools, and I think my words to Matt was, "You're not going to, are you?" And he said, "We didn't come to not pull." So fair enough. So we got done that afternoon, and got my RTV out with the toolbox above it, pulled in the pits, told them where everything was at, and we went to eat dinner and watched the Purdue game. Came back, and the motor was sliding back in the other tractor, and yeah, we did get all my tools back except one 15/16 socket, which is what's used to hold the engine to the bell housing on a Ford. So I'm assuming that's why that was out. But other than that, I did get everything back.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Hey, here they are.
There they are.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. You guys hear us okay?
Yes. You.
Hey, guys. Awesome.
Good. How are you doing?
Turn off the
back feed.
Hang on, man. I got it.
Well, now we've gone completely blue.
Yeah, that's why I put in the description for this show is that we were going to have a completely blue show.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah. How's y'all season going so far, guys?
Not bad.
You up?
I was gonna say, yeah, I didn't get a chance to come over and say hello to you guys out there in Paris, but you guys had a great showing out there to kick off your Silver Series run.
Yeah. Yep. And Fayette was pretty good too.
Yeah.
The Hart tractor's a little tough, but
Yeah, absolutely.
he
Well,
runs.
let's just jump into it. Talk about what you guys have got planned for this summer coming up. I mean, you guys are going to run the Silver Series all summer long. Obviously, you guys came all the way out there, but what else are you guys going to do on the off weekends that you have? You guys going to run around home?
Well, just like you were talking about that pool in Somerset here this weekend, we're gonna hit that one.
Yeah,
Are you?
they have light pros there with the super dual fuel or whatever it is. So we'll be. That's about 2 hours, a little closer.
Yeah,
And we got the East Coast Pullers, which PPL series on East Coast, and a couple other pools around with Richard Love and Joey that puts some light pro pools on.
Yeah. So where did you guys really get started in your roots of pulling? Have you? I know you guys have it 8,500 pound. I don't know if it's still mod turbo or if it's considered 85 limited pro out here where I'm at, or what that is. But where did you guys start?
We started in the 7,700 light limited class.
Okay.
That's a 466 class.
3x4. And we ran that until for 15, 16 years. We ran that class. And, I started 2004 and went to 10, and then we built that 9,600 tractor. And he got on it at the first pool and never got off of it. So that came. I had to talk him into it, and he wasn't into it. And I was like, well, just one time. He hasn't got off of it since, but he got on a new one now. So that's how we started. We live. He works for Foresters, and we grew up with the Foresters, so we live close to the Foresters.
Yeah. Seems like the blue color is a lot more prevalent up there in the eastern part that there is down here. I mean, the most you'll see in blue down here is in light super. For us, it just seems like anywhere you look up there, it's what there is to run.
I think that's the cubic inch classes that came in. In here, we run like a 466 and a 540 class, and so we don't run real. I mean, we have hardly any super farms and a few pro stocks. I mean, that's the Ford is more suited for that.
You'll find more people jumping into it.
Yeah. So did you guys ever dip your toes into the mod turbos at all?
Yeah, we had 2 of them. That blue unit, it was mod turbo. We didn't run it much. We mainly pro, and that black and blue, it ran mod turbo for a while.
Didn't that black and blue tractor come from out here?
What's that?
Didn't that black and blue tractor come from out here originally?
That thing's been all over.
What was that guy that built the injection pumps down in Southern Indiana?
Oh, Phil Jolliffe?
Jolliffe. Didn't he have a hand in that at one time?
Yeah. It's had like 5 or 6 owners.
Mm-hmm.
It originally started in Virginia.
Yeah.
It's
running really good now too.
It was a stablemate to Moody Blue.
That's right.
Okay. Is Moody Blue still up there too?
Yeah, he had one the other night in Deep Creek.
Okay.
He's got it running good. He's hit or miss. He comes out for a while, and you never know if he's coming or not. But he's been working on it, so I guess he's getting into it a little more.
Yeah.
But then Vern's bought it for Forster bought it, and then Vern bought it off Forster's, and then Vern sold to that guy out you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
How many tractors does Vern have?
Did have 4 or 5. I think he's down to 3 now.
Yeah, and he still run the mod turbo side.
Yeah. He's got 3 mod turbos. But one time he had 6ers. So
Holy cow!
he had 4 internationals and 3 Fords, I think.
Zach, could you imagine running that many tractors?
I can't. I can't keep one together. I don't know how anybody does more than one. You two are about as bad.
We're getting a little better, smarter.
Smarter. There you go.
Yeah,
we're getting older.
Yeah, I mean, all of y'all's focus is pretty much into the light pro class now, right?
Yeah, my 466 tractor's sitting over here in pieces, and his is run. But we don't run it too much. We run it at Chip 1. That was it.
Yeah. You guys have been longtime runners there at Midwest Runner Nationals. I think I was watching a video from back in, what year was that? I want to say it was 2010 maybe, that they showed a tractor is called Fast Forward in there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they were there even back then. Not even to mention the success that you guys have had there since it's made the ship Shawan. So you guys were kicking everybody's rear ends back then.
Well, you could go back the whole way to the last coin poll that we pulled at.
God, that's like
Yeah, the last-
2006 or something, 2007.
Been 7, I think, Charles.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you guys had been coming down to all of those that long.
Yeah, we were to a coin where you had to drive across the road and hitting that down the road and in that other building.
Yeah. You guys had to do that this weekend at Mountain City. It looks like, I think I saw a couple of videos of you guys being pulled up there on the blacktop.
Yeah. Yeah, we parked up there by that gas station, but when it rained, it was pretty nice.
I bet you got out a little bit easier than most.
Yeah, we're high and dry.
Yeah. So talk about y'all's tractors and everything. Everybody's just amazed at the amount of work that you guys have put in between both of you guys, Zach and the Smiths here. The biggest question is why blue with the blue blocks and everything else? What made you guys go that route?
We've always been blue.
We're Ford guys. If we're not going to run Fords, we're not going to pull.
I wouldn't put an international. I'd be like, or a John Deere. It wouldn't be a cup of tea. I mean, I could be competitive. What you're into, you know what I mean. But I don't know. We dreamed this up, and we didn't know what we had. And one day we decided to build one, and
With some help with Robbie Lemke,
yeah.
and then later with the bombs with Roger and helping us out with the block and everything. And
Yeah, I called Lemke, and he was the only one that had, well, there was another guy that had a recast head, but Lemke had a recast head, and we started there. That's how we got started. And he's helped us out tremendous.
Yeah. You guys have spent a lot of time into your programs. I mean, it shows with the success that you guys have had on the track too.
Yeah.
I'm sure it came with its own headaches though, with having to make those parts like that, but it being Ford and everything.
Yeah, you don't get much help.
but that's where
Yeah,
That's very true. Not much help when you're a Ford guy.
you got
We started because we were a New Holland dealer at the time. Of course, my dad ran Alice Chalmers super stocks all 70s, 80s, into the early 90s. And we decided to build this one in 10, and Dad made the comment he didn't think the New Holland rep would be very happy walking in the shop and seeing an orange or red pulling tractor. So we built this one with the help of the Forster boys out in Pennsylvania. You know, Engler built it and built the chassis and everything, and we took the motor to him from Forster's, and that's kind of why we went that way, you know, but why not be different?
Yeah. Zach, you were telling me you thought that was one of the first Light Pro chassis that he had built, right?
I think it was, and I may be wrong, I think it was the first Light Pro chassis Tim had built. He built, you know, Super Farm stuff, but this thing was built the first full year that Light Pro ran with NTPA. This was built for that. They ran kind of a short schedule the year before, which had been 2010. This came to the track in 11 first time. We had some very good success the first year with it, until we kicked the rods out at London, Ohio one night, and it set for the rest of the year. But I think this was the first Light Pro that Tim built. We started it for the first time in Tim's driveway. So he put the motor in, he done everything. It was started the first time in his driveway.
Yeah. What about you guys? Do you guys do a lot of your own work there at home in Pennsylvania, or do you guys kind of have to drive all over the map to get stuff?
We do everything pretty much here. Yeah. We got a machine shop down there that does. They're pretty good, you know what I mean. If I called them up tonight, they'd probably work on something tomorrow morning if we had to.
It probably keeps pretty well away with whatever he has parts on hand. If we need something,
when he builds something, he builds plenty, and if you call him up, he'll have it.
Didn't matter if we need a sleeve and a piston tonight. He has it on the shelf ready to send to us.
Yep.
Yeah.
We just should have had this at Shipshewana. We wouldn't have to do an engine swap.
I was just fixing to bring that up. I mean, that was something that took everybody was super impressed by it. I mean, I put together the video for it whenever we got back from the show there. But that was something that was really, really cool to see because I think that was the first time I've ever seen it for a diesel motor. I've seen them done for mods and everything like that. But you guys worked so well together. Like there was nobody was hardly talking to each other. Everybody knew kind of what the assignment was and what went where and what had to happen.
Well, I think we had something pulling that morning, and we did not decide to change the engine until after that pass was over, and we're standing around.
You did.
I think
I looked at Smokey and I said, "You're not gonna, are you?" Because we didn't come to not pull. I was like, "All right, fine."
The best part's they brought their own skid steer.
Oh, that was y'all since y'all brought.
Yeah, that wasn't an Amishman skid loader. That come from Pennsylvania.
So you guys brought the 3 tractors and the skid loader all in the same trailer.
Oh, no, we had 4. How many we had?
I don't know how many. I think we had 2 truckloads along.
Yeah. The year before we had 8. That was too many.
You're starting to sound like my neighbors.
Yeah. Yep.
That was still one of the coolest things.
Is making sure everything gets on tight and correctly. It's hard to make sure everything gets done properly when you're doing it that fast.
Yeah. I got to ask, though, with the RPMs hitting what they did earlier, I think it was the day before, were you guys a little worried about that, putting it in there, or were you guys just pretty confident that it was going to work no matter what?
I wasn't worried about it. I thought it was okay.
It was right at the beginning, so it was a little better than.
It wasn't under a heavy load at the time.
It seemed like when you get it under heavy load, and when it lets go, like if it out again, usually that's all that mass turning towards it, you know.
You lug them when they hurt them.
Yeah, when you got them under load, when you're spinning, it ain't as bad. It just shoots up a little bit. You got it under full load, and then you're probably gonna be checking stuff.
Yeah,
but we did tear down, sized the rods and everything. Took the rods and machine shop, and they made sure they were still true and put it back together after Shipshewana.
Yeah, you guys tore that thing absolutely apart after Shipshewana, though, all the way down to the bare block, I'm sure.
Yep.
Yeah, So the black and blue needed the rear end fixed and everything after that. So
Whatever was the full case in that? I don't think, Charles, we ever knew the full story of what exactly had happened there.
No, I mean, it seemed like it was the hub cracked, but I guess there was way more than that. That was not the that was just a symptom and not the actual disease.
back thing was a pulling tractor forever, and it got that much horsepower on it. It finally left the hub spin on. It wasn't tight enough to handle that kind of power.
Wow.
We never gave it a thought. We run a T-bar on it, like get like a T notch out of it. Ours that won't slip. That one has a slightly round one on it. But
yeah, it seemed to pay off nonetheless, though.
Yeah, it's working good now.
Yeah.
He
So
won 2 hooks with it.
Yeah, so I was gonna say I assumed that was the motor that was in black and blue. Ship Schwann's back into it for the season, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we came back and switched them back.
Yep. So taking away, you guys didn't get the results you guys wanted to at Farm Machinery Show, I know, but how was the experience of going to National Farm Machinery Show for the first time after doing so well in Pro Pulling League points this past year?
I liked it. It was something different.
Awesome.
Yeah. Good experience.
Did the track bite hard?
What's that?
Said how'd the track bite for you guys?
Well, I broke a barrel and plunger on my pump, so and
we just had a little mistake on mine, and that resulted in Chip Schwann's engine change made a little mistake on mine. So
yeah, swap, his bolts weren't tight on his pump. His pump was, someone put them in there and didn't snug them up, and we never checked it out.
Wasn't this guy?
That day.
I think I tightened 2 bolts, and those were both the ones that went to the bell housing. So
But then you lost the socket.
that's the only thing. That whole deal, I lost 1 socket. I was happy with it.
What socket?
My impact rode around his trailer for a while.
We might have. We'll have to look.
15-16 snap on, ain't it?
Yep, 15-6. Yep, he knows right where it's at.
It was on that impact when that impact got loaded to leave Ship Schwann. It was on that impact.
It's not a big deal.
I think we lost one out there on you too.
I'm sure we lost a few.
We built Verns in the pits. I think we lost some tools.
Yeah, I remember that. You rebuilt Verns in the pits over when we were at the old building over in Illinois.
Back in the corner there beside the door, took two engines apart and made one out of them.
Right there in the 30-degree weather.
It wasn't.
That was like the Gordyville days too. There's no trees or anything out there to shield the wind. That was just straight ice.
Is that one burnt piston or 2 in that that year?
We put a couple
I
in.
don't remember. That's been long.
2 or 3 pistons.
Yeah, it was hurt bad.
Yeah. We put them in there and backed the timing down. Vern, he likes to run it on keel. Then it lived.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He runs against it. It wasn't as bad as Keystone. We took 2 of his tractors and took the front half of the one and put on the back half of the other one.
I heard that story.
I need to know this story in full.
Yeah.
This one I hadn't heard this.
Yeah. I think the one blew up and the one qualified, so he took the front half. We took the front, put it on the back half. For some reason, I don't know why. I was like, why don't we switch the sheet metal? Yeah. Most bolts lined up. They were both Ace chassis, so they were pretty close. It was missing a few bolts, but
It worked.
You
yeah.
only live once, right, guys?
Yeah. If you look back, there's pictures of it. You can see it's 2 different tractors.
Yeah. That's really y'all's home territory too. There's the Keystone Nationals. What has that pull meant to you guys over the years?
We've always done pretty good there. It's a little different. Zach's pulled there. It can either bite hard or it can.
It's getting better as they keep going. It's getting better.
I got to go out there when I had to run against the 2 Charger Supers, and they got all pissed when we beat them.
Yeah, they used to us too.
Yeah, I pulled out there one time. I won the afternoon session and was second to Ran in the night session. We took 4 light pros with us out there. We went that year. One trailer.
We used to take our 466 tractors and pull in the 8,200-pound super stock, Sigma pumps and 2 turbos, and we'd beat them with a 3x4 and a 466. They get irate, mad.
We left out here that year and took 4. It was mine, Larry Black's, Jason Fleeman's, and Darren Usbaum's went 1 trailer, and they got stopped right there getting off the toll road coming down into Harrisburg by the DOT, and it's a pilot or something there, isn't it? There's a pilot there at the exit. Yeah. They got stopped there, and they wanted to impound the truck because nobody could prove ownership of the tractors. Well, you can't prove ownership of a pulling tractor. There's no serial number plate. There's no title. There's no nothing. So they called me. I was already at the pull because I drove the pickup out. And they called me and asked if I'd drive back up there and prove ownership. I'm like, guys, I don't have any way to prove ownership. It's mine. I make a shirt that says my name on it. What more do you want, So Corey got involved, and somehow Corey got involved, and all of a sudden the truck was rolling again. but yeah, they were there about 2 hours before they finally let him go.
I have never heard that one before. That's a new one.
Yeah, Corey must have some play in the state of Pennsylvania because that thing was rolling pretty quick once he got involved. So
they have a good friend that's into the DOT in Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. That's probably who they call.
That explains a lot of my questions over the years, right there.
Start whipping the phone out and start scrolling, looking for championship results. See my name, that tractor right there.
Yeah, that's about what exactly. It was.
I got pulled over, and I think I had like 4,500 lines. I called Corey. I was like, "What's that guy's name?" He gave it to me. I called him up. He called me back. He said, "You're good to go."
It's all about who you know.
Yeah. Well, he was trying to find me for an oversized load on a back road, and once he had me that, I didn't have oversized load signs. He just threw it to.
We don't get messed with much. We run dealer plates on truck and trailer. We don't get messed with too much.
Sounds like Pennsylvania DOT will get you in a heartbeat.
Oh, they're terrible.
You gotta ask them how their tire test when it shit's going.
They need the money to maintain the roads.
Yeah.
Well, they're already charging you
for roads, right?
Yeah, and potholes.
Potholes.
Almighty.
That's awesome.
Oh, roads and potholes. What else you need?
Yeah. So what does a day in the life look like for you guys whenever you're not on the pulling track?
Hectic.
Yeah, hectic. Working on tractors. Like I was at a softball game tonight. Run down here, and we're always doing something. We work a lot.
Yeah.
I guess we got an addiction. Got to.
Yeah, I work a full-time job at Forster's. I have a catering business. And I of rent New Holland skid loaders and tractors and stuff we rent to the Amish here, and we cook about 70,000 pounds of barbecued chicken a year in our catering business, plus everything else we do.
Wow, you guys really are on the go all the time. Just I don't know how y'all have time to travel as much as y'all do. Really,
make it work. Good people to help out.
I left to go to Mound City. I left at 9 o'clock, drove through. We stayed overnight. We left Saturday night and drove home. I got home at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We don't get rooms too much.
No.
When they do, their semi gels up.
Yeah. That night.
And I stayed behind this past weekend because I had too much stuff going on.
Yeah.
So where's the next Silver Series hook for you guys?
Tollsboro.
Oh, that's right down here in my back door then.
Yeah.
I think I'm about 2 hours away from Tollsboro, depending on if Superstock's ready to go. I think I'll be heading that direction too, honestly. I've always wanted to go. So I'll be honest. First time in Paris, Missouri the other night. That was the first time I've ever had a chance to see you guys run outdoors.
Right.
I'd always see you guys run indoors at Midwest Runner Nationals, so that was really cool.
And we didn't have a very good track to run on, but we made it work.
It
was good. We won 1, 2, 3.
It was all right towards the end.
Yeah, I thought
A little water.
I pulled on worse. I know.
Yeah.
That.
Same.
I don't mind pulling on. It's the track's there for everyone. You make it work. I mean,
Yeah.
not like they're pulling on a different track.
Right.
That's the way I always felt. You make it work.
2,000 horse was a lot easier to make them tracks work than 3,000 was, though, guys.
Sure. You still have the throttle in your hand, though. So
That is true. You still have the throttle in your hand.
yeah.
Do you guys notice something that brings up a point? Because all of you have been pulling long enough to be able to answer this question. Not just the increase in the power, but the better tire. How much is there sensitivity in that? Because it does now bite so darn hard. Is it a razor's edge, or does it give, or did the old style give you a little bit of forgiveness, or how did that feel?
You can't mess around with it most of the time. It's going to hook you. I mean, you got to be ready for it.
Yep.
I think tire technologies came along with horsepower.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure, and they made the different. I'm not sure I drive mine much different than I did when I had my Polar 2000s on, because horsepowers came with the tire technology, I guess I'll say. But they're right. They do hook. I mean, most part, if you're not pulling on asphalt, you can get them to hook.
I missed some of that you guys were talking about earlier about the difference in the tires and stuff. But I mean,
One
a lot of
tractor.
different. I wish it would come down to some standard, but
We got three different sets on, and we're not sure which ones work the best. Depends what track you're on.
You're exactly right. The tire thing's got out of hand, if you ask me. Because I mean, you're throwing 15 grand here, 13 grand there, and you don't know if it's going to work or what's going to work the best.
yeah, you don't know which bars, how many bars you should have on the damn tire.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You go buy a set of tires and guess what bar you want on them, or where you're going to pull at, how many bars you can have.
So what do you guys see coming down the pipeline with the Pro Pulling League allowing component chassis? What's the feeling on it kind of there where you guys live at?
A lot of people don't like it, but I think it's just a matter of time.
East Coast hasn't allowed it yet. So we're kind of in the middle right now.
Right, because I mean, I don't think there was any of them that were component out there with you guys the last couple of weekends yet.
No, I don't think there's any out yet. But
Wasn't there one or so out at the end of the year last year? One or two, maybe.
Not that I know of. I don't think any of them made a pass yet.
Okay.
No, I know Hopkins is still waiting on his, and then
Grimes just picked up their chassis.
yeah.
Don't forget about Hayden Auto. He's got his
Yeah.
Just finishing up.
That thing's pretty.
Yeah.
That's what we would like to have. That body stuff.
Ogles will be out in 2 years probably.
Too.
I hope he's watching the show and he heard
I
that.
do too. Well, my phone ain't blowing up yet, so he's waiting on paint. And he's just waiting on paint. Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys click the QR code up there in the corner, you might see something kind of cool. I still got it uploaded. Well, you'll have to take a picture of it later on.
You said click, so I was about to do the same thing, Shane.
Were you really?
Yep.
You gotta learn how to phrase it, bud.
I know. That was my fault. It links right to our YouTube channel.
Oh, hell. I'll get on it later.
You've seen it.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Okay. If it's what, yeah.
Yeah, it's that one. There's nothing new.
So you guys gonna come out and play with us in a couple weeks?
When is it?
Here you go. You can
Well,
get
Hang
the
on,
name.
hang on. I got it.
There you go. I know you might have to change a set of tires, but I know you guys have got 15 sets laying around there.
Yeah, you got to change them both, though.
But you got to change them both.
Both what tires? Just we're
Left and right.
Runner back.
we
You got to make it specific so they know which tires should change.
We already proved it didn't matter.
You did prove it didn't matter.
It's true.
No, it ought to be all like I was before you guys got on. All three of them within 45 minutes of each other. All three's good dirt, and it's a good payout for the weekend too. So
I'd have to look and see what we're doing. I know.
I don't think you guys, as far as polling out there, have anything. I've talked to Jeff and them, and I don't think you guys, as far as polling goes, there's nothing that has 3 days, as far as I know. So
We'll probably come out then.
I hope you do. It'll be a fun weekend.
So maybe 2 names confirmed right here again.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
we Greentown's my hometown. Then Tipton, like we said earlier, is 10 minutes, 12 minutes south of here, and then Frankfurt's another 15 minutes from Tipton, and it's a good be 3 good shows. So
3 good tracks.
Yeah. So I want to know from whenever you guys were driving up in Shipshewana, though, with the different tires, did it feel any different at all with the different ones being on there?
Well, yeah, I drove that one and it may faded a little right a little bit. I never hit the brake, but it was a fairly straight run. There was no difference in it.
We thought maybe, but there's a lot of people pulling to that left corner. So
that left corner's got some memories up there for me.
Yeah. For a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Zach said laid rods out, I didn't want to say anything.
I thought it was the turbo.
Yeah, until you went, oh shit.
I thought it was the cam because I caught it.
Starting line, and I thought it blew the turbo cover off. I was like, that's all I seen. I seen something going. I was like, damn, it just blew that turbo off.
Marty's calling Weimer going, hey, we need more than a turbo.
I didn't even walk up there to everyone start gathering around like, what are they looking at up there?
And then I got all the crap on the internet for telling you to back up.
Were you telling me to back up, or you?
No, I was asking if you were okay. I
Yeah.
wasn't telling you to back up. But the guys on the internet's like, oh, really? Telling you to back up without an engine in the chassis? Yeah, no, I'm pretty confident I know what happened.
I didn't know the engine wasn't in there. I didn't.
I didn't either until I turned around and went, where's the block?
I didn't know until I got off the tractor. I was like, shit. And I didn't even see where the engine was. I was like, well, what happened to it? Like
That was my reaction. And I see everybody run over the sand pile. I'm like, oh, that was impressive, guys.
Yeah.
So
It did happen quick, but it seemed like it took forever for stuff to stop raining back down. You just keep hearing ding dong ping. I'm like, oh gosh, when is this going to quit?
My favorite was the laptop that was twisted in 2.
We're just
for some reason it was going straight down the track, and that time it went to that corner for some reason. But I think it was probably a good thing it went there.
It was a good thing it went where it did because nobody was in the line of it.
Yeah, it pretty much went over.
Yeah. Zach, do you remember the tractor that came right after that, though? I don't remember who it was, but they got to about 275, and all of a sudden, the blow-by tube got real busy, and I'm like, oh, shit, we're going to do this again.
All I remember is you and I were the only ones on the other side of the barrier.
Yeah, everybody else bailed out. They wouldn't stay in there anymore.
Charles and I are the only ones staying on that side of the barrier.
Zach, you kind of had to stand there, though.
Well, they told me I couldn't flag from the other side, so I had to stand over there.
you know, Clint still heads to the far side of the track anytime now.
Only when I'm up.
Yeah. Sad thing is, that was Zach's second one that year.
Yeah, that was my second one.
Yeah,
that
it
year.
was. Yeah, it was.
I had one happen at Tipton and then that one. But when Smokies come apart, I'll be honest, I didn't feel anything. I felt the concussion a little bit, until I finally turned around and realized what happened. That's when I realized I didn't feel anything. It wasn't any different than just a turbo explosion, I guess.
Yeah. So that night, I didn't go to Midwest Winter Nationals that year, and some of my college friends were coming over because we had just getting ready to go back to school the next day, and all of a sudden we're all just sitting there in my apartment, and all of a sudden that happened. They were like, "You like doing this? Why?" I said, "It's fun."
I think the
Fun.
wildest
Fun.
part of that night, Zach took his hoodie off when we got back to the house, and the whole inside of it was full of aluminum shavings.
Well, I thought maybe you had a lifter or something in there.
I would have mailed it
Hit
back
with
if
that.
I did.
And I caught the cam, but it was quickly confiscated.
Clint, he still has a wrist pin sitting on his desk, I think.
I think the piston's still in the wall at Shipshewana. They finally fixed it, though, which we don't have to worry about that anymore.
Wasn't that the year that the wheel came off too and put a pretty good sized
No,
dent in the wall?
no,
Or is that another
no.
year?
Year before.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm guessing we'll see you guys come down again for Midwest Road Nationals this year.
Yep.
Wherever it may be.
Yeah, wherever it's going to be.
Yeah, we got to do something in winter. We don't do much. The catering slows down and rentals slow down a little bit. That's what we like to do in the winter.
So, that surprises me with as much snow as you guys get. I figured that it would pick up even more, really.
We don't get that much.
Okay, what's y'all's version of not that much? I'm curious.
Shane,
More than yours.
more than yours.
Everybody gets more than him. Everybody.
Where you're at, Shane, you get a half inch, you're shutting schools down. The Walmart's closed. Everything's closed.
No. They can forecast snow for the next day and we'll shut down schools, dude.
Yeah, Smokey out. He pushes snow, but it's not that much.
No, it depends. Some years we push a lot, and some years you mainly get the salt truck ready and go salt.
Yeah, but you guys know how to drive in it. Like down here, we don't know how. Like whenever I was in Shipshewana this time, that was the most snow I'd ever seen in my life.
Probably also the coldest you've ever been in your life.
Yeah, pretty close. I mean,
I
it's
get a text from him
negative
that's
down here too. Every once in a while, like -2.
well. I get a text from you saying, "Well, it's really cold here." I'm like, "What's the temperature?" And he texts me. He's like, "This
47.
Yeah, we're about 30 degrees south of that."
Yeah.
Number 9.
Jeez Louise. Well, you guys, this has been a lot of fun. We really appreciate you guys coming on. I know you guys are absolutely slammed. You guys got treasures to get ready for this weekend.
Yep.
Nope, we got it ready for last weekend.
Yeah,
got
we
canceled.
We got ours ready for last weekend. It's still sitting right out there in the trailer if you can see it somewhere. But
I thought only super farms were supposed to be able to stay in the trailer like that, Zach.
it would. We got a rain out so it can stay in the trailer.
They charge the battery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we did that too. We ain't got to do anything.
Just get in and go.
Mm-hmm.
And then whenever you get there, that's when you find the last second thing,
Well, I got a reminder on my phone to retighten water lines when I get there because we had all them apart. So
We lost a head bolt on the way to Shipshewana this year. So
yeah, that was fun. Head
things
stud.
happen.
Don't know. Got there and got a hole in the hood and everything from it.
I've heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez.
I think Gordyville, I was setting some tractor. I think it was one of Vern's. Next thing, there's a hole in the hood, and that thing's shot off.
Yeah, Matt brought it up there, and we rolled it out, and his brother-in-law was like, "What's that on the floor?" And I'm like, "That's a head stud." And like, well, how did? And I looked at the hood, and I'm like, "Oh, that's where it went." And it was on the inside of the hood, and we'd called Phil at Riverside, and he's like, if it's on the inside of the head, don't worry about it. If you can get it out, fine. If not, so we ran it without a head stud.
Yeah, that's got to be the best Rooster story. We were talking to Rooster about it. He goes, "Hell, I ran my Super with 2 of them missing. You'll be all right."
I ran the one I got right now without main stud for a while. I pulled it. I burned it and I pulled it down. I'm like, Good.
That's why it came apart at ship. Everything's explained now.
No, this one's still running. I put a new stud up in it, and the cap was a little chattered up, but it still don't need any bearings. So I was like, that was probably beginning of last year.
Knock on wood. I think we've all finally got our bearing trouble fixed. Hopefully.
I hadn't hit the track yet. Don't say nothing.
Well,
Yeah, yours is red. It don't
yours
count.
is red. It don't count.
Nah. I mean, you guys are technically the cousin. If you want to get real technical.
Not in Genesis days.
Not
are
in the
we?
Genesis days. No.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
Now though,
Brothers now. We're brothers.
It'd have to be like the redhead stepchild.
That's more like it. That's more like it. A redhead stepchild.
Zach.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. If you guys aren't doing anything in October and you guys want to stay warm a little longer too, we'll have there's a light pro hook down here in my area again.
Where's that at?
It's Elizabethtown. How far is that from Tollsboro, Zach? Like, is it an hour?
It's
If that?
no. It's 2.5 hours probably from Tollsboro.
Yeah.
It's over on 65 south of Louisville, about 50 mile.
Yeah. It's
They-
not bad.
Late in there, the late pools, there's also a lot of North Carolina stuff going too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
In a cave, right? Indoors in a cave.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like the pulling season's going later and later. Just it doesn't matter the geographic of the seasons either.
It's starting earlier and earlier.
Oh yeah, we kicked off our season back in March, all the way down Louisiana down here.
Yeah, I can remember back in the day, you had all winter to work on them. Now it's like
You can pull about every weekend in the winter if you wanted to now.
and we went to Diesel and Dark Corners, and that's in November, and then it's Christmas, and Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Gordy. It's like, holy smokes.
Oh yeah, you guys made the trip down to Florida a couple years ago too, didn't you?
Yeah, we used to go there all the time.
Even before it was sanctioned.
Yeah, we haven't been since it's NPVA. They took our class out and our first 66 tractors out. And
See, I never understood that because it seems like you guys always had great turnouts down there in that class.
yeah. Well, NTPA is pretty strict on their rules, you know. And
And
like
they don't offer that.
interstate's not real strict, and it's on the money to get it out there. And they just quit going. Everybody quit going.
Yeah.
Don't worry, your guys' stuff will pass out here. There ain't nothing wrong with it when you come out here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, you have to add certain bunch of stuff, but
Yeah.
Don't bring Dad to a major association. They'll crucify in about 2 seconds.
is that right?
Smokey, do you know a guy named Chris Baker?
Chris.
Yeah, we know Chris Baker.
Yeah.
He left a comment on YouTube saying, "Come on, Smokey, tell it how it is."
Yeah, he lives up. Well, he lives up there by the Demented Tractor.
Oh, up there by Michelochi.
Nicolach. Yeah, I think that's his son.
Oh,
He's related. They're
okay. That's probably the one I was texting back and forth with the other day, asking if they're coming to Tollsboro.
It really wasn't.
He's got a couple sons. He's got one down here by us too. Kenny Rippey and pulls a John Deere.
He said that's brother responsible, and that's ripping. Okay.
Yeah, he say that's Rippey and his son.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds like you guys are all one big family up there, just like it is down
Yeah,
here, almost anywhere you go.
We pulled with Demented, probably 15 years or so. He started out limited class with us.
We started out right before we built our 600, I think, didn't he?
He probably 8, so he probably spent. We've probably been in with him for 16 years or so. Yep. He's always been a
Yeah. I've got to ask though, since you guys have been to all the different indoor events for What Smoking Promotions, which track has been the hardest biting track?
All of them.
Yeah.
We've had the best success on the Shipshewana track. I mean, but Gordyville track was always really good. But I mean, we got a pile of Shipshewana trophies.
Yeah. I think I went twice or something with the 4.6 tractor or something.
Yeah.
One there was
Won the qualifier, but Shag Nasty beat me in the final 1 year.
Gordyville's probably the better one. It's shorter. It's hard to get hooked up. So.
Once you get hooked up, you go to the bars and
Yeah, it's like a short track like that. It's low horsepower tractor experience.
Smokey Chris left another good comment for you.
They talked about going back to Shipshewana or back to Gordyville. The sport's already outgrown that facility. There's no going back to Gordyville.
it's not going back to Gordyville.
No, it's not going
I'll
back to
confirm.
Gordy.
I'll at least confirm that part of it, won't you, Charles?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's no going. I mean, even if they could go back, they've outgrown it so much, and you can't go back there.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that short.
Shane, what are you doing the nights of our shootout?
You mean just as a whole or with the tractor too?
With just the whole.
Your tractor's sitting in a shop in Michigan. You're not doing anything.
No.
Put a 4.1 on that and come play.
Come play. My phone's gonna blow up in 3, 2, 1.
I'm texting Pat right now.
We need a 4-1 Charger stat. Zach, I don't know yet.
Well, if you're bored, drive up.
How far is that from me?
I think your brother said in the semi it was like 4.5.
Oh, that's not bad. Shane,
Yeah,
yeah, new super farm. Just get with the. I mean, maybe we've had that talk too.
We're 2 hours south of Shipshewana, so however long it took to get to Shipshewana.
So probably still roughly 5 for me.
4.5, yeah. You're a lot better driving coming here than you are going to Shipshewana. You have to get off on.
It's all big roads.
So, yeah, all big roads.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. I'll look and see. If nothing else, I might come out that Saturday or something.
Well, Friday's our deal at Greentown.
Well, I don't know if they're going to let me skedaddle out there right now.
I'll make a phone call.
I don't think the one you're making is going to work.
Good Lord. I'll make a phone call. The most powerful words there are right now.
Ain't that the truth?
Jesus.
Yeah. I'll see what's going on for sure. I would like to go.
Try and get Charles to come down, but he's busy.
I'm bummed that I have to miss it, but I do.
Hang on.
Ruse is coming out.
Yep.
Is he really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing some Googling now, see how far Frankfurt is from here.
What's the payout? It's a big payout.
So it's $18,000 total over 3 days, or over the 3 events. IPL purse is on and $5,000 on top of that. So there's your breakdown of how it's going to be if you finish first, over and second and third.
I can't see that.
$2,500 for first, $1,500 for second, and $1,000 for third for the top 3 finishers over the 3 days.
On top of
your IPL purse, which is the same as Region 2.
Is that all in one weekend there?
Yep.
Friday, Saturday,
Sunday. I sent it to you. Do you not look at your messages?
I forget.
Here, I'll send it to you, and you can look at it better on your phone.
I get so much stuff, I forget. And
It's
We're last minute people.
Oh, I know. Hence the engine swap at Shipshawana.
Yeah.
Zach, Frankfurt, Indiana is about 4 hours 45 minutes for me.
Yeah, Frankfurt's a little harder to get to than Greentown.
So then you're
4:45 from Greentown.
you're 4:45 from every town,
Mhm.
probably.
There's
I'm
Smokey. I
coming
just sent it to you on your phone.
Yeah, Tipton's about the same distance for me, so
Mm-hmm.
I'll see what's cooking down here. I'll let you know for sure.
But we'd love to have you guys out. It ought to be a good deal.
Yeah. I'm going to post up that flyer a couple more times here before the shootout actually gets here.
I've had a lot of people inquire about it, Snapchats and stuff I've sent out.
If everybody that has asked you or talked to you about it commits, what do you think? Just give a number. Is it 10? Is it 15? Is it?
Well, we're going to have 8 or 10 IPL tractors. I would say, if I can get these two to come out and the people I've talked to, I don't think we're going to have a problem getting 15 to 20. Pretty easy all 3 nights. Like I said, I know Palmer's 1, maybe 2 will be there. The first night for sure. TJ Snyder will probably be there. He normally comes. Bob Campbell normally comes.
Now, is that Campbell related to the Campbells that had the pro?
No.
Or no?
Well, I don't know. I don't think so, but I would say 15 to 20 probably. We normally get 12 to 15 at Greentown. Beasley's have been here before 2 or 3 times. Last year I think we had 12.
We get a lot of light pros just because it's night before Wilmington.
Yeah,
so if they're coming out to there, they'll come to us.
With us running, with them guys all them years, they'll come out and play with us. So,
yeah.
I've talked to Mikuloshi. They were interested.
That don't surprise me.
I've talked to Graham's. They were very interested.
Hey, we said no names.
Yeah, I'm not confirming. I'm just saying they were interested. And some 4-1s I've talked to. So,
yeah, that can be a lot of fun.
I don't know how many up from like 4-1s from up here will be down there, depending on because ECI's got Manchester, you've got Darlington, and like Badger State's got like 3 that week. There's WTPA.
That's the big stretch for Badger State too, isn't it?
Yeah, WTPA region's got stuff up north. There's stuff everywhere. Rock Valleys. Some guys go to that.
But yeah, as far as the light pros go, with the exception of Wilmington, Ohio's Region 2 on Saturday, there's nothing really around for light pro.
Yeah. Do you think you'll have any super farms?
I don't know. Last year, Warder ran with us some. Maston's been with us some. The Plastic Money's been with us some. I don't know whether they will or not. We just opened the invitation just in case those guys wanted somewhere to play.
Yeah, sure.
You might get something because it's 2 weeks before we even have a points hook.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. And you're running specifically into.
And like I said, we pay 10 spots. So I mean,
Yeah. Well, guys, this has been a great show. We really appreciate you guys coming on, taking time, getting ready for this weekend. We've all got somewhere it looks like we're going to be. Charles, where are you heading?
This weekend?
Yeah.
Nowhere. I'm in full dad mode this weekend, and then I will be in full race mode every weekend thereafter until like mid-September or something.
Yeah. Zach, where's y'all hook this weekend?
We got Peru, Indiana on Friday night, which I just got a picture of their track after today's rain. It's gonna be challenging. It's gonna take some work, but it can probably be done. And then Winnemac on Saturday night, which Winnemac's a cool little deal. It's in the woods right along a river. Neat little pole up northwestern Indiana, north central western Indiana. And then we're off to Greentown. So
Yeah. Why you're sitting idle this weekend?
No, Friday night we are hitting an ECI hook. Jessup is one of the bigger ones for ECI. It's a 2-track show. There's only Jessup and then Jessup and Dubuque and Rockwell are only 3 double tracks that ECI has, and Rockwell's new this year. So yeah, because that's like the end of the year shootout thing. They want like 4-wheel drives, 4-1s, 2-wheel drives, a bunch of stuff to happen. So that's been the same last weekend. Yeah, so Friday night would be at ECI hook, and then Saturday night probably go dirt track racing with the cousins. So we'll see how that goes.
Sweet. And then Marty and Smokey, you guys are going to be at the Firecracker hook, right?
Yep. That's where we're heading. We're going to camp out there and hopefully cook some.
Anybody that's coming to the shootout deal, I've already talked to all 3 locations. You can stay in Greentown Friday night. Big parking, big fairgrounds, not a problem at all. Tipton is okay with you staying there Saturday night, or you can go on to Frankfort Saturday night. I would probably recommend staying in Tipton that Saturday night and then driving to Frankfort on Sunday. All 3 have shower houses. All 3 have amenities. The towns are easy to get around. All 3 towns, I know Greentown and Tipton, you can probably ride your side by side to the gas station without being lit up. I don't know about Frankfort, but they're all 3 easy to get to and no problem staying for anybody that's coming at all events. So
I thought you'd put us up, Zach, for the weekend.
We can find a cot or something, throw you on. That's not a problem.
Oh yeah,
we got plenty of space. So my house is about a mile from the fairgrounds. My parents is about a mile the other way. So
yeah. Oh wow.
I can look out the back patio I'm sitting on. If Ferris wheel's up, I could see it running. So
good deal.
Yeah. I've got my hometown hook this weekend too, Mid-South Pullers, and gonna see some new guys down here that have never hooked with Mid-South before. I'm really excited. I'll go ahead and say Ryan Lynn's one of them. So we're excited to have them down here. I don't know if John's coming still or not. I haven't talked to him the last couple of days.
You're probably getting the toughest light limited super in the north.
I know. I tried to talk Roth into coming down, but they're doing really well right now too, so they didn't want to risk breaking something, but it'll be fun. Nonetheless, I'll be curious to see how he matches up down here. We always talk about wanting to see it. We're gonna see at least one this weekend.
And it's blue.
Yeah, it is blue. Diesel too.
They're getting about as bad as you guys when it comes to numbers, because if you count Kevin's tractors plus the Pisek minis plus what they're going to have in light limiteds, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Something about blue tractors, they multiply.
I tell you, the blue diesel light limiteds are I'm not going to say hated all over the country right now, but they are being chased very, very hard. The two in your state, Shane, are as tough as they come.
2 in my state.
Gordon's.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We talk a lot about what class would you be in if you weren't in the class you're in.
That one.
Yeah, that's where we
I'd build a D19 diesel.
Brandon's always talked about doing that too.
Your brother or Phillips?
Brandon, my brother. He's always like, man, that'd be fun. I could ride around home.
Phillips and I have talked about a D19 diesel before, and so have Kyle Carlin and I.
I'm ready to see that their light limit to go back to diesel. Supposedly it's sitting there.
It's there.
Yeah. Well, y'all, that's going to do it for us here on the episode number 23. Lots of events going on this weekend. Lots of places to go if you're freed up.
Prayers for this guy, by the way. That's why I wore this.
Yeah, I forgot that you were wearing that shirt. All of y'all know the
crash that John Force had. I mean, nothing. He hasn't been released from the hospital. They haven't released any other information, but I know we're a motorsports show, but pray for that man.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a rough deal.
Yeah, it was. It was. Well, we'll see everybody next time. Thanks, guys.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. See ya.